In this day and age, it's hard to believe, but you're looking at a group of indigenous people deep in the Amazon basin who are making their first contact with the outside world. It happened on the border between Brazil and Peru. Indigenous rights watchers believe the group, from the Panoan tribe, was forced to seek help because drug traffickers or illegal logging is forcing them from their lands.
Hey, no.
Tragic, according to Conservation International, who say the world's biodiversity is at stake.
Nations often forget that indigenous people hold these assets, but they manage them for the greater good of their nations.
For people like the Kayapo Indians along the Xingu River in Brazil's Amazon, that means making sure they keep the right to manage their land and rivers. We went deep in the forest to visit the Kayapo and one of their leaders, Megaran.
After our contact with the white man, the Kayapo population decreased by a lot. Now we are recovering, and the Kayapo population is growing once again. This is another reason why we want land for the Kayapo.
Fishing along the Xingu River for piranha is an amazing experience. But make no mistake, life for most indigenous groups is hard. The Kayapo are among the lucky. They control a massive amount of land, more than 11 million hectares, and do everything they can to protect the forest, water, and generations-old customs. Very few tribes here have access to electricity. With more and more contact with the outside world, aid organizations must make sure children receive vaccinations and monitor their health care. Still, it's a fact. Many young people want a way out. They want what they consider a better life, better education, and decent jobs. It's affecting not just the Kayapo, but all indigenous groups wrestle with the future.
This is our concern and what we are trying to make our youth aware of. They need to continue this fight in order to preserve this forest, this beautiful river, the way it is now. It can't be left to the white man. He wants to destroy everything.
There is the constant battle between preserving the simpler way of life and the demand of a nation such as Brazil and its desire to grow its economy. The forest holds a treasure in minerals and timber, and powerful rivers can be turned into hydroelectric power. But it all comes down to balance.
One of the important issues to consider is that indigenous peoples all struggle for their rights, but they're not cookie cutter. They have different perspectives depending on different parts of the world they live in, and their situation is different. The struggles of indigenous people in Africa are very different from the struggles of indigenous people in Latin America or North America or Australia.
It's true, but many who have seen their rights trampled tend to speak with one voice.
I wish my people could live their lives and practice their customs the way they do now, without any interference.
But the world is changing.
In the future, the generations that will come after us may change and suffer some modifications. Their lives will not be the way the Kayapo's lives were in the past.
The question remains, can the customs and cultures be preserved? Sean Cadlebs, CCTV.